Anin indinamwe maganatuk. Wapi panesi kwe natijnikaz. Kinonte kanowinik. Segme Anishinabek Natonchi. I greeted you all in our language. I think it's really important that we do, in some way, acknowledge our language, acknowledge who we are. I also use the word for all our relations when I greeted you. It's a tongue twister, but it's Indinawe Maganatuk. That means all of our relations, not just us here, but everything in creation. The birds, the buffalo, the grasses, all the animals on this earth, the water, Asini, the land, the rocks. So when we speak about our intentions as Anishinaabe people, we have to also speak to creation. Creation also has to know our intentions because we are Anishinaabe and we are of the land. I'll introduce myself. I'm Lynn Acoose. I'm running for chief of Sagamay Anishinaabe. I want to tell you how grateful I am to be given the opportunity to serve as chief of Sagamay Anishinaabe. It's been a very rewarding time for me. I am grateful always and every day for the opportunity I have to work for our First Nation and for all our people, especially for our children. I want to thank my nominator, Laurie Bonifoy, who lives all the way in Chilliwack, BC, and also my seconder, Adam Peepich, who lives on the reserve with us. I want to talk about, first I'll talk about my journey as in leadership, and I'll also, for a little bit of time, talk about why I am seeking another term as chief of Sagamay Anishinaabe. I was first elected in 2007 on council. I served 2 years on council, and I was elected chief in 2009. My first 2 terms as chief, with the council, we focused on amending the membership code, very important to all of us and to our kids. We settled the flood claim. We redid all of our land designations for 100 years. And we did that because we knew that our leases would be much more valuable if we had a 100-term lease, a 100-year term on the leases, on our head lease. So, and in the ensuing years, since then, we've collectively worked to expand our economic base through our businesses. We started out with a gas station in Regina and a gas station on the reserve. That's how we got started, with little gas stations. But we've expanded our economic base into retail. We furthered our retail holdings. We've also passed laws. We've passed laws such as the cannabis law, the child and family wellness law. We've recently passed the land law, the Financial Administration Act, and our Election Act. And I'll talk more about that later on, but we've done all of that. We've focused on creating laws, bylaws, and also we've worked on policy at the administration level. The council did through the Treasury Board. And together we've worked to achieve these these accomplishments together as a First Nation. The council, with the support of our people, have done this. We could not have done this without the support of the members. We could not have moved forward on our businesses, on establishing our laws, on creating opportunities. All of that is thanks to the support of the members. We've also faced many challenges. We've had 2 floods in the last 12 years. Our cottage lessees filed a class action against us, against our nation. And so it took us 10 years to settle that. And that was a big challenge for us to create a more stable environment with our tenants, but also increase our revenue for our people and for the programs and services that the members enjoy off reserve. That comes from our own source revenue, because we only, in terms of housing and other programming, health, secondary education, we only get funding for on reserve, for our population on reserves for those things. So it's really important that we continue to increase our economic base, so that we can continue to provide all of these member services. We also experienced, of course, COVID. That was a devastating time period for all of us. Myself personally, I couldn't be there when my own brother died. We couldn't have a proper funeral for him because there were only 4 people allowed in a room at once. We couldn't hold gatherings. But we did have to find a way to move through our grieving process in a different way, not the way we're usually used to, with all of our family members close by, and to be able to feast our people. We had to accept that. We had to move on and find our own way to do things. And that's something we've always done. That's something the old people taught us, to be resilient, to find a way, to create a path moving forward. And the reason why we're able to do this is through our kinship. Because we have kinship with one another. We come from the same place. We can look back. We can look back at our history, at how the old people worked together, how the old people related to each other, respected one another, shared in the work, supported one another. That's how we get through things. That's how we got through COVID. That's how we'll get through any challenges in the future. But most importantly, that's how we build a future for our children, as our old people did. We can strengthen our future and uphold the concept of kinship by supporting small business people, supporting our members that start small businesses through small business grants for our entrepreneurs. We can make sure that our children get the best education possible that we can possibly provide to them. That's how we build success in the future. We can make sure that we're putting more people, more of our members through post-secondary education. We need to increase the number of our people who are getting their degrees, or getting technical diplomas, or getting a certificate. We need to, of course, protect our land. All of this is provided and upheld through the promise of treaty. Treaty promises our livelihood, our education, our health, our land. All of those things are there in treaty, and we have to hold on to that and never let go of that. So I talked about I just want to talk a little bit about where we're at now. I talked about the Land Law and the Financial Administration Act. Those two pieces of legislation are key for us right now at this time in our future, in our present and our future. The implementation of those two laws is yet to be carried out. It's very challenging. We need a solid foundation at the Administration Center, at the band office, to be able to fully implement our Financial Administration Act and our land law. These two pieces of legislation are very important to us right now because of where we're at, what we've worked on for the past 2 years as far as moving forward in a big way beyond retail. We'll be making an announcement likely in September. We can't make it public yet, but we'll be making an announcement about our investment in green energy generation, meaning green power. So we'll be part of the industry that provides green energy into the power grid. The other thing that we'll be announcing soon, and I hope fairly soon, is that we have a development coming on our Westlands. We have a developer coming in and leasing our land, and they will be developing big box stores on the Westlands. And one of those big box stores, I won't say their name, but it's a place where all of us like to shop, especially at Christmas time and back to school time. So we'll be making that announcement fairly soon, and it's very exciting. However, we need to move at the speed of business. We need to make sure we're business ready when these developers come to us. When there's an opportunity to invest in green energy or something else that aligns with our values, we need to have the courage to make decisions about things that do not align with our values. If we have opportunities to invest, we need to put our people and our land first before we make those decisions. That's how we move forward to ensure a future for our children. I'm almost out of time, but I want to just talk a little bit about the role of chief and council. People seem to think that we run the band office. We do not. My role is to facilitate decision making, to act as our representative beyond, like for external governments, industry, nonprofits, the City of Regina, the City of Yorkton. That's my role. My role is to build relationships, to ensure that we honor treaty by making good relationships, and with other First Nations as well. We just signed a partnership agreement called the Anishinaabe Power Alliance with Kinistin First Nation and the Yorkton Tribal Council with Key and Lynn Acoose. So we're building alliances, and that's how we move forward. That's how we get big things done, through relationships. My role also is to set the high-level agenda and to facilitate, to help council members in their mandate, to act as the ex officio. The council, they have mandates. A lot of it relates internally to our First Nation, but they also need to build relationships. But our focus is on governance. That's our focus. We don't run the band office. Sometimes we have to, if the administration is kind of falling down, we need to sort of step in and pick things up. So my time is almost up. I want to say we want to move forward in a good way. We want to move forward with good stewardship practices. We want to move forward in kinship We want to move forward in kindness. We want to move forward in love. So I'm asking you, when you go to the poll or you vote on your phone, please vote for stability, vote for experience. Chimegwich.